I give them together.
Good afternoon, everyone. Dr. Ray Bauer, 2000 North Parkway, co-founder of the MLGW advocacy group, 21st Century Memphis or Bust. This morning, we heard President McGowan say, quote, "The 2020 Way Forward funding was a necessary first step to regular recurring infrastructure replacement that will improve and maintain reliability over time," unquote. However, no breakdown was provided as to where specifically the money from the 7.2% electric, 27% water, and 2% gas increases from 2020/2022 have gone. If MLGW has provided $1.2 billion in cash and bonds in 2020, with $800 million of that earmarked for electric upgrades, where specifically did that money go? President McGowan said we have twice as many outages now as we did then. Will we be provided with that information before the council votes on whether to increase our rates again? There was discussion this morning of how much money in food spoilage a customer suffers per outage versus only a $5 to $20 monthly increase if the 12% electric rate hike is implemented. But since we haven't been provided specifics as to where the previous rate hikes went, there is no guarantee that ratepayers will not end up spending more on services per month, but still have to throw out food due to outages. Likewise, if MLGW was barely getting by and unable to make improvements, as was suggested this morning, would someone please ask how can they justify the number of top employees there earning more than what the city mayor makes? We have a top-heavy utility company, even though our service has deteriorated. If we have the money to pay six-figure salaries, then we should have had the money to maintain infrastructure too, right? The last time City Council approved rate increases, they looked at streamlining MLGW. Unfortunately, it was customer-facing positions that were cut. Has anyone looked at streamlining the upper end? How much money would that save the ratepayer? Should we be looking at downsizing upper management to provide better service and oversight following the "too many cooks spoil the broth" saying? If you have the money to maintain all of those salaries, even on top of poor performance, maybe residential ratepayers do not need to bear the burden of another substantial rate increase.
Ms. Bauer,
thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Next comment card is from Ms.
Good evening. John Shumpert, 2356 Hawkhurst Street. Just wanted to kind of double down on what Dr. Bauer was saying about the rate increase. It is important that we do know where the $800 million in cash and bonds they've already received for infrastructure has gone. We still are asking for an independent audit to figure out, make sure those contracts are competitive and that the funds are being used efficiently. I personally hate when I have inefficient use of my own funds, but not as much as I hate of somebody else inefficiently using my funds. Also, the estimated bills is still an issue. People are still trying to figure that out. I can produce for any of you who may ask several people who've gotten bills that they don't know why they were being charged what they're charged. And our city especially, people cannot afford to not know where their money is going or why they're being charged what they're being charged. We're asking that we can make sure that MLGW has guarantees in place to make sure that no longer happens before an increase is voted on top of what people are already paying. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shumpert. Mr. Joe.
Chair Kent, 5111 Flamingo. Motion, second. Call the question. Okay, it's time to vote. Whatever. On October 18th, MLGW Commissioner Mitch Graves said that MLGW capital budget is never, ever, ever fully spent. And based on history, this FY24 budget is not reality. This comes after, to this council's face, MLGW said they would get it done, and yet are again behind on their capital spend while asking for a rate increase. MLGW did not get it done. To your face, Chief Doug McGowan promised parking on the cobblestones, and it is now a dump and a $10 million ripoff. McGowan did not get it done. To your face, on July 21st, 2023, MLGW CEO Doug McGowan repeatedly assures the council that MLGW has the money from under execution to fund the $228 million tree trimming contract without a rate increase. Then on the record on November 7th, 2023, to your face, McGowan leads in large part with tree trimming as a primary driver of the 12% rate increase. On the record. McGowan also states MLGW's industry peers have seen 60 or 70% increases in tree trimming costs, but presents this council to your face with a 128% increase. This is like somebody saying, hey, I charge $50 to cut your grass, but I'm going to charge you $100. Peer benchmarking shows peer increases at the very most at indeed a hefty but believable 20%, not 60, 70, or 128 increase for tree trimming. And further, we have the entry into the power generation business, paving, and telecommunications, coupled with customer service outsource, making up a $100 million FY24 budget overage, $100 million. The customer service outsource comes with MLGW making zero effort to educate the public on reporting outages online. Say no to this rate increase. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kent.